Well, hello everyone. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. This is Mike Bolland from the We're Not Stumped podcast, and today it's news and notes, and I got a story to share with you, plus an organization to share with you. I'm pretty excited to do it. I've done some research, and I found some really cool things to share with the audience. But before I do that, let's talk about what's going on. First of all, within the We're Not Stumped podcast for the last couple weeks. So a week ago, on June 3rd, Silvio Walker was my guest. She was fantastic. What a great guest to have on. Like me, she's missing a right hand. Unlike me, she lost it during her life. I was born like this. What a story. She also talks about an organization that I talked about earlier called the Dallas Amputee Network, and they're a great organization. They have something called Legapalooza. Listen to that episode. That episode came out on June 3rd, and then on June 10th, at the time of this recording, was just yesterday. I'm recording this on June 11th. This is going to come out on June 12th. But on June 10th, Eric Ford, his episode came out. He was in a head-on collision with his children in the vehicle with a drunk driver. He lost his left leg. Fortunately, his children were okay. But it was a long recovery for Eric. It's a great episode, imparts so much knowledge for everyone. It's a must listen, in my opinion. I've also recorded two already that are coming out in the next few weeks. June 17th, Ryan Wilson from Team Trust Productions. This gentleman specializes in Paralympic and organizations like nonprofit video and marketing. And it is, again, I enjoy all these episodes. I get to have them. I get to record them. So I get to talk to these people. And talking to a person like Ryan is just exciting. He's got so much great things going on. Tune in on June 17th for that. June 24th, Chris Bashik will be coming on. We recorded it last week. He is an upper limb prosthetic specialist. He works at Point Designs, and I've had some people from Point Designs on. I've had Levin Sliker, the CEO and founder, plus Jeff Solberg, Angie Coe, Rachel Groh, some of their ambassadors on. I've had them on this podcast, but I'll tell you what, Chris was so engaging, and he's got so many things going on. His wife, Shannon, also works there. Tune in for that episode just coming out, I guess, less than 2 weeks. Come on, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it single-handedly, you can do it too. So let's get into some of the stories that I found. And I found this one that I thought was very interesting, and I think everyone here is going to appreciate this. This one comes out of New Orleans, Fox 8 Local First. So their URL is fox8live.com. This story is from a gentleman named Sean Fazende. If I'm saying that correctly, I'm going to spell his last name in case I'm not. Fazende. And here is the headline: Double amputee turns tragedy into Olympic aspirations. So here's how the story goes. It's Thursday afternoon, and Adam Silvio is right where he feels most comfortable, the gym. He's locked in, training on the bench, part of his regular routine. At first glance, Silvio could be any other member of the West Bank Athletic Club, where fitness is a way of life. But it's when he gets off the bench that he stands out the most. For him, standing doesn't look like it does for most people. That's life as a double bilateral above knee amputee. Silvio wasn't always like this. A Chicago native who played football in Wisconsin, he eventually moved to New Orleans to become a teacher. Life was fairly typical for the single guy in his 20s until one fateful day at a mid-city gas station during Mardi Gras in 2021. And here's a quote from Adam. When nothing was going on, we found our way to make it eventful, Silvio said. 2 blocks away from my house, 2 friends went in and waited outside at a convenience store. And an SUV came into the parking spot and didn't stop and smashed me up against the store. So an SUV didn't stop going into a convenience store parking spot and smashed into him. Gosh, that's terrible. To get back to the story, when he woke up, his life has changed forever. There was a blanket over my legs. My legs were throbbing, so I figured I may have some broken bones or something. The nurse ended up saying that they had to amputate both of my legs. In that moment, the shock could have spiraled into despair. But Silvio chose something else, acceptance. Great job, Adam. Get back to the story, and here's a quote from Adam. I didn't really have any what ifs. What if I would have done this? What if that wouldn't have happened? Silvio explained. Okay, this is what happened. Accept it. And now how do we figure this out? Very good attitude. Adapting, however, wasn't easy. I thought I was wheelchair bound and never thought I was going to walk again. I thought I would have to find a new identity, he said. I've always identified as an athlete playing sports, growing up, and then all of a sudden, just like that, it's over. So that was the biggest challenge at first. Then came the everyday realities. Another quote from him, I got back to my apartment and everything was changed around. I couldn't get into my bed. I had to figure out how to get on the toilet. I had to figure out how to do everything, Silvio explained. It was really restarting from like being a newborn, being born all over again, end quote. Little by little, he figured it out. Before long, Silvio's competitive drive and athletic spirit returned and brought him back to a place where he's always felt strong. Always a gym guy, training, lifting, always for sports, he said, end quote. Now he trains nearly 6 days a week, and the strength he builds in the gym extends beyond it. I'm walking around with some dumbbells, and that's helping me bring in the groceries in the house, Silvio said. If I'm picking up heavy things, I can move furniture. 4 years after the accident, Silvio is living a life at full speed. He travels the world, competes as a power lifter, and plays wheelchair basketball. He's won an award in Miami and also one in Canada. His ultimate dream? To represent Team USA. The long-term goal is to compete in the Paralympics in Los Angeles. Coming back to the United States, Silvio said, my sport is Paralympic powerlifting, bench only. He's also chasing his personal best. Here's his quote. My other goal is to bench press 500 pounds, end quote. Wow. You got this, Adam. But for Silvio, pursuing strength means more than just medals and milestones. This is for me, but this is also for everyone else, he explained. I've met other amputees, single-leg, bilateral, above knee, below knee, and the solution really is oriented around physical fitness. End quote. The heaviest lift may be the purpose behind it all. Here's another quote from Adam. If other people have had injuries and aren't living their best quality of life, there are things they can do. And if I can show them through my fitness journey, well, that means everything to me. Well, Mr. Adam Silvio, I wish you nothing but success. Not that it's going to matter to somebody like you, because you're going to do it anyway. I can't wait to watch your journey and how you're going to be able to represent Team USA in the whole country at the Paralympics in Los Angeles. If you want more information on him, again, go to fox8live.com, look up Adam Silvio, and I'm sure you can find out how to find a little bit more information about him. So next, I want to outline an organization. This one's called the Mission Gait Foundation. This one sounds... Boy, they're doing some great things. So let me tell you where they can be found. They can be found at missiongate.org. So let me tell you a little bit about them. This is off of their About Us section. So About Mission Gait is the headline. So let me read you what they have here. At the Mission Gait Foundation, we're on a mission to transform lives throughout 3 core pillars of our organization. We are creating a brighter future for those affected by complex gait disorders. And here are the 3 different areas. The Mission Gait Academy. Our commitment to knowledge, empowerment, and inclusivity is embodied in the Mission Gait Academy. We offer free educational resources for individuals living with complex gait disorders, their caregivers, and the professionals who support them, and advanced continuing education and certification for rehabilitation professionals. Number 2, patient reintegration. Mission Gait is committed to facilitating patient reintegration, providing patients and caregivers with unique, empowering resources. We help people connect with the pastimes that matter most, ensuring that their life is not defined by their gait, but by the moments that bring them joy and fulfillment. And number 3, international missions. A little dash there, international missions, walking free. Through international and local partnerships, education, and training, Walking Free's goal is to increase the capacity of providers who already live and work in underserved areas of the world, empowering them with a strong foundation for patient care. And I want to tell you something else that they have here. They have their Mission Gait Academy, and I want to read a little bit about this. And all of this, again, can be found at missiongait.org. There's a place to donate. You can contact them. They have an area where they talk about their international missions, an area that's just dedicated to patients and caregivers. But this particular one I want to read has to do with the Mission Gait Academy. And the headline here is the Education, Certification, and Resource Center for Professionals. Here's what it said. Mission Gait's Foundation Academy continues to develop as a leader in providing the highest level of training and education to rehabilitation professionals in the area of gait recovery and advancement, which leads to the progressive levels of certification within our gait certification program and inclusion in our certified provider network. So here's some things that they have here. They have like 3 different levels of defining our educational model, and I'll read these. Level 1 is gait rehabilitation. This is the core concepts and treatment strategies. This course, available virtually or in person, provides clinicians with an in-depth framework of gait theory, rehabilitation principles, and analysis to effectively analyze and treat gait dysfunction. And there's more to that section. Please go to missiongait.org to read more. Here's Level 2, Gait Rehabilitation Specialist Certification. And this was launched in May of last year, May of 2024. So this one's kind of new. The Mission Gait Academy is proud to introduce a groundbreaking gait certification for physical therapists and physical therapist assistants, fulfilling our vision to empower the rehabilitation community to better serve people experiencing gait dysfunction. And here's Level 3, and this one is in future development, Advanced Gait Rehabilitation Specialist Certification in person. Upon completion of Level 1 and Level 2 gait certification, participants will be eligible to travel to our center in Richmond, Virginia for in-person training, advanced certification testing. As we progress, Level 3 will be offered in partner clinics at various locations as well. How important is this for a variety of different communities, certainly the limb loss community, but I'm sure it hits a lot of different communities. Congratulations on what you're doing at the Mission Gait Foundation. Again, you can find them at missiongait.org. There is a donate. Go there, check it out. If you're a caregiver, if you're a patient, if you're a professional looking to get certified, check them out. This looks like a cool thing. Well, that is it for June 13th of 2025. I thank you so much for listening. It was fun to talk to you. It's a blast. Do you have anything you want to add? I want to hear from you. If you have something you want to add, you can get a hold of me on we'renotstumped.com. Mike at we'renotstumped.com is my email address. Facebook, Instagram. There's so many different places. LinkedIn. You can even find me on LinkedIn. Come on. Take you 2 seconds to find me on LinkedIn. Mike Bolland. Bolland. The one-handed dude. I mean, he's got one hand. Anyway, as I end today, I know it's been a few weeks since I've done one of these Thursday one, but I love these because I get to tell you, I got to remind you of something I say every week. Everyone, have a great week.